throw, flooding one side and finding the end zone. Set, going for the weak dive, try to get back there to Stroud as McCullough to the left. As it's instead towards the back of the end zone, Sutton. As Jones scrambles, he picks up the block from Tyreek, and nearly 2 touchdowns given up as they go back to Pierce, shakes the tackle. Which we go Chuba, cut back lane, and we've tied the game up yet again. It is going left. It is overtime we go. Cole Ford for the lead. As Stroud downfield, Edwards tips it away. That is a win, and that is playoff football. And with that overtime win, the game that this season has been building towards has finally arrived. Though we've had this game already twice this year against the Falcons in week 1, 37-10. It was a dominant win for us, very much held by our defense, forcing the rookie in his first NFL career game to throw 5 interceptions, which the offense capitalized on. But in week 8, it would be almost the exact opposite story. We would still squeak out the win, though it was an offensive showing. 54-52, in which Kitchens got his revenge. 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, putting him positive on that touchdown to turnover ratio. But for us, the main showing was the running game. Chuba Hubbard nearly ran for 200. He went over 200 yards total. Barry was in the end zone twice. Even Bryce Young ran the ball in. That run game is going to be very key for us today as we hit Wildcard weekend. It is win and continue or lose, and we are done. Now, that is not entirely the case for the series, but for the watched portions where we jump in every single game, that is the case. If we lose any of these playoff games, or if we win the Super Bowl, this series, as we know it, will come to an end. We will go through some future sims, a little bit more of like a movie-esque type situation, showing what the team does and the finishing of the careers of some of the top guys from this series. But as this season comes to an end, the series as we know it does as well. Let's go out there and make sure that that is not today. Playoffs are back underway as Bailey has us booted off. Hunter will actually return this one in a heavy rain game. He takes it up to the 22, where the offense will head out. Daniel Jones has not gotten to play in this rivalry during his time here, but it was him under center, or at least behind center, that started the comeback, getting us back to the playoffs. We'll see what he can do against our biggest rival this series. And at this point, both sides know each other very, very well. We know how each offense runs, we know how each defense runs, and we know for us, we very much run. As Barry, he picks up a bunch of space, gain of 23 as he follows his blocks. Just as it's been all second half this season. Run game first and foremost, though Hubbard, he's having a hard time of it. His first 2 carries don't go for much. 2nd and 10. We bring out our first pass set here. Tight shotgun look. Just need to pick up those simple yards as that was forced. It's intercepted. Blackman gives the Falcons the ball at the 45. Great job there from the Falcons defense sitting on that route. Run it too often. They've got the tape. Now we need to make sure we've got the tape at it is not Bijan Robinson in the backfield. Justice gets the first carry. Now heading into this one, it was a game time decision on Robinson. He had a broken finger from practice. He wanted to go, but during warm-ups, he couldn't hold on to the ball with the rain and that finger. So what I'm sure was a tough decision from the Falcons, they are sitting him in what could be either of these teams' final game this season. As here comes the pass rush, McCullough drops Kitchens. It's a massive loss, and it will force a punt. Something that previous game did not see much of. Both defenses start off well. Offense back out for us, and we need to find some yards here for Chuba, and he's got all of them right down the middle. Jukes tries to slip by a couple, fighting forward, though he too a little bit shaken up post-celebration here. We saw that happen last week as well. So for now, he will head to the sideline, and it's going to be Barry and Ball carrying the workload here. As it's down the middle, Barry will squeeze through 5. But in such an important game, Chuba is not going to sit out long, immediately coming back the next play, which is good news for us. As it's lofted out to him, he takes a shot. Incomplete pass. Two of the biggest passing plays, at least most frequent passing plays we've had this series, Falcons do well against. As we bring out the third down running back up, it is Ball who takes a halfback screen, picking up that first down. And for Jones, he could finally have that sigh of relief. He's completed a pass here. Keep with the same look, need to get that double to backer, which we do. Ball will get 8. Now this Falcons defense has been a work in progress, but their linebacker and safety group has really come a long way. So that's what they're gonna have to really carry them today, as it's nearly a sack. Ball. He gets the swing out and picks up the first. Even in the passing game, it's still primarily been the running backs getting the ball. As we switch out Ball, we got Barry. Going with a stretch to the outside, but it's a great read from 43. Walker Jr. just read it. He gets the TFL loss of 4, though we keep the same look. Going with a little bit of some play action. Got to find something open here. We could pick up a block here from the fullback. Not much. We get 2. So with a 3rd and 11 awaiting us, Steve Smith Sr. decides to bring out all of the tight ends. Let's go a little bit of a play action roll. We've got our guy coming across. It's thrown for Bateman. First down before he gets picked up, slammed down at the 5. Bateman didn't get much involved last week. Good start here early on as Callaway goes in motion. Gonna bring him back to that weak side fullback spot. With a stretch that way, Chuba gets corralled. Maybe back to the line. That time DJ Reader there to slow down the play. We spread wide, we got an RPO dialed up. And we will keep it with Chuba, who will get stacked up at the 2. We know when we get down towards the goal line here, we're gonna have to fight for every bit of yard we can get. Sticking with the spread look. We got Tyreek Hill on the zig, as it should be open. It's too far out in front. 4th and goal. But this time, Steve Smith Sr., he takes the easier call. He sends out 4 to get us on the board as we squeak in the field goal. So far, this one has been completely different to any game against the Falcons prior to not only this year, but this series, as they find Pitts will get a gain of 7. Now, as we continue on throughout this game, really the areas to watch are going to be Pitts and maybe London here for the Falcons offense. As they go with the run down the middle, they will squeeze out 2. But already we find ourselves heading inside the second quarter. First quarter has come and gone. 3rd and 1 awaits. As they go spread empty, we bring the blitz. They pick it up just enough to find Kyle Pitts in the flat. And of course, with us not having to worry much about Bijan Robinson or at all about Bijan Robinson, it's going to be Pitts the main concern as St. Juice picks up the TFL loss of 2 as they go with a read option. Now, Kitchens does have some mobility, but it's not really his biggest threat. It's more of sitting on the back end, try to catch us sitting. Occasionally, as they go back to Pitts, that's where they found most of their yards today. And of course, he's going to see a slew of different players trying to defend him. As instead, they go to the running back out the backfield, picking up that first down again, Justice. Now, the one thing that this Falcons team love is really good running backs. Despite Justice not being their primary guy, he's still a superstar X factor and someone we need to be concerned about. Pick, but there is a flag, and it looks like this one is coming back. Just as we always do, Newsome caught getting there just a second too early. That time, though, a legit second too early. As Justice finds a gap, he finds another first down to the 20. He's a much different style running back in compared to Robinson, who's a little bit more of that elusive speedster. Justice, he wants to get downhill and he wants to run over you. But he could get to the outside if need be. He's got enough speed to do so. If we were to compare him to someone who we all know, I would say along the lines of Barry. He's a power guy, but he has the ability to do it all. As it's Pitts again in the flat, upended by Newsome. Keeps it a third down. But can the defense finally get that stop? It's a pistol set. As they do look to throw, Bates gets the pressure and forces the early throw. First incomplete pass will bring out the field goal unit. So we're really getting every type of game against the Falcons this year. We've had the one-sided affair, the offensive shootout, now a defensive back and forth. One of these teams still trying to find that touchdown, which has eluded this game. As the offense back out on the field, Hubbard tried to stretch it, but just nowhere to go. Of course, coming off that last game where Chuba was such an integral part, I'm sure he was the main focus of the defense coming into this game, as it's Ball who gets one block, not much more than that. He has to fight through two defenders to pick up just as many yards. Somewhere along the way here, we're going to have to make something happen. 3rd and 8. Back to our tight look. As they sit on everything well, Jones rambles around to try to find somewhere. It's a sack and it's a punt. Defense continues their battle back and forth as the Falcons take over at the 39, looking to find their go-ahead score. As that should have been a pick from Brothers. I don't think he saw the ball thrown. Though, honestly, I don't think the receiver did either. Kitchens with an empty set to follow. Last drive was really more of a rushing drive. This time they're looking to air it out as it's just too tall for Cash. Of course, the last couple times Cash played in the slot, he got beat quite a lot by Tutu Atwell. Now playing on the outside, haven't seen much from Tutu, as we're going to need a little bit of a pass rush. Instead, it arrives just too late. Kyle Pitts nearly finds his way to the end zone. Luckily, we do get the tackle, but they're down to the 21. It's been all passing, and it will continue to be this drive to the outside. Drake London, gain of 6. He's technically their number one receiver, though very well you could tell they don't go his way that often. Inside the 2-minute mark, trying to take the lead. It's down and to the inside. Lucky, okay, never mind. I was going to say luckily that one wasn't a flag. Yeah, it was. Cash just happened to attack the wrong shoulder. If it was the correct one, it's a safe play, but that's not the case here, as it's Tutu Atwell scoring the first touchdown. Falcons take the lead as we got a little over a minute and a half left to go. But it's clear right now that the Falcons defense, they're begging us to throw it, challenging us more like it. As we come out here with limited time, that's exactly what we'll look to do. Tyreek Hill with a big strike downfield, late hit. No penalty given for the Falcons defense. But for us, hopefully that's at least going to back them off the line a little bit. Allow Chuba Hubbard to start to get going. Or maybe not. Another TFL immediately thereafter. Line gets back to it quickly. They got a single high safety as they walk the safety down to the right-hand side. Just need to find something underneath. We do find Boston, leaving 3rd and 4. Another hurry up here, keeping that safety down to the right-hand side. Just slide the line that way. If Chuba can leak over the top, might find a little something special here. Or instead, we got Tyreek Hill. Across the middle, that was the route that got picked earlier. Not a whole lot of variety in the play calling until this part of the drive, so let's shake it up. We go spread wide, as it's essentially just a throwaway as the screen got blown up. But I do like the quick reflexes there from Jones to read that early. As we've got an option downfield, put it up for Boston, who high points it. He gets down to the 1. Just stops shy of tying this game. And I'm sure for him, he's looking for a big one, as we haven't been very pass heavy. We got 10 seconds left this half. Goal line versus goal line, and Barry will find those points to tie it at half. Very much a defensive half as we head in 10-10. Now, quite obviously, the game plan heading into this with the run game, it really hasn't worked. We have 58 rushing yards, far more than them, but still we've got to get that offense getting back to controlling this game. That's been what's worked for us. These are the other games happening around the league, but no update at half. So as we get the second half of our wildcard matchup underway, it is Falcons with ball first. As they go out to Pitts, nothing new from them. Gain of 5. Kitchen's still yet to throw over 100 yards, though he does have that one touchdown, so there's a little something there for him, as that's a bad miss. They've really stuck to the pass in this one. And considering how much they have at the running back spot, even with Justice, I imagine they would do a little bit more of that. Though 3rd and 5, they stick with the air. To the flat, missing again is Kitchens. He's 9 of 14. Now as we come out trying to start our second half strong, we need to get that run game going. It's been our bread and butter this season. Now of course the Falcons have made changes to their defensive line, that front 7, it's gotten better. But still, we've got some great guys, we got to get them going. Great pursuit there from Bates. He's able to track down Chuba, taking him down with 2 still to go. A 3rd and 2, which will bring out Winters and Barry. Just got to find the edge, which we will. Good stiff arm, and why not truck through him a little bit more as well. Trying to keep that pressure on them, force them to continually think about that run. And when they come down like they do here, maybe try to find something over the top, as we've got Hill, who's just overthrown. Neither one of the quarterbacks today being all too accurate. Jones and Kitchens have both missed their fair share. Chuba, he finds some space, picking up nearly the first down. They mark him just shy. But for us, that run shows great signs of hopefully a weakening running game. Though Barry stacked up, they do not give it to him. It was very close. They say Reeder got the stop, but we say we are going for it as we're an inch shy of that first down. Winters met by Reeder, who does not do it again. We inch out the first down that time. Oh, as they keep stacking the box, let's spread out wide. Not going to go with a deep pass here, though, trying to get Tyreek Hill going. Get his speed to the outside. Beautiful juke. Not going to get the back juke. Instead, he gets picked up, slammed. But he picks up the first again. It's just going to be some of those little wins like that, though a little bit more than a little win, that will get us going. Sticking with the spread look. As instead, Jones, he's going to look to scramble. He picks up one block, diving down. They mark him a yard shy, more like half a yard. So 2nd and 1 will change up the look. Ball has checked in, down the middle, running through Bates, who will help drag him down. Right now, we're getting everyone involved, and we're taking up a good amount of time in the process. We got Winters and Barry back again, trying to find a lane, and I think they might actually about lose a yard there. Falcons defense have done a great job of just flowing around. 2nd and goal. We keep with the heavy look, though. We look to throw as we roll. Jones, he has some space, and he will scramble for the lead. They did not keep contained, and their guys downfield did not do a good job on pursuit. Now let's just hope our defense can build upon it here. Get a stop, give our offense a chance to widen our lead. As it's down the middle, stacked up Castaneda and Hodgins. Of course, just a few weeks ago, both Stockton and Hodgins, they got their contract extensions. That's going to be a duo for the future as Stockton rips it out. It'll be a great battle in the future between these two teams. Pitt's not going to go anywhere, nor are our linebackers. though Pitts is going downfield with a first down. Good throw over the top of Stockton. In fact, I think it was the man coverage that Hodgins had on the running back who actually bumped off Stockton just enough. 1st and 10 for him, just shy of the midfield line. As it's thrown to the flat, yeah, Kitchens hasn't had that much today. They've definitely had a good deal of catches in the flat, but just about as many caught have probably been misses. As now they go with a toss. Brothers to help try to seal the edge. He gets the block. It's Hodgins who cleans it up. And honestly, I wonder if Hodgins would be the better man on cover guy for Pitts, considering he's got probably just as much speed, if not more, but it's the opposite side. There they go to Davis. His first catch is a first down. That time Saint juiced in coverage. He's done well up until that point. 1st and 10, they go back to the air. Downfield to beat the zone. A great juke, though we've got pursuit from behind. Dragging him down is Hartwell. Well, that'll take us to the 4th quarter where the Falcons are knocking on the doorstep, needing that touchdown to tie this thing back up. Which of course makes it all more impactful if we can get the stop here. Force a field goal attempt, a turnover even would be fantastic. As they do look to air it out, it's McCullough who gets there as he throws it away. And that'll keep this one a close one, at least close to the goal line. As they go with a play action, trying to roll everyone one way, but it's away from that side who will get the sack. Only a loss of a couple, but it brings up 3rd. And for us, it's that opportunity to force the field goal attempt. As we know that they're going to pass it. It's what they've done all day. But 2-2 strikes again. Make it 2 touchdowns for Atwell. But we've got space on the following return. It's Hunter the corner. He's trying to go the distance, and he's bumped out at the 2. Nearly the kick 6 for the corner turn safety. And almost instantaneously, we retake the lead, but still work to do. Starting at a pretty good spot here, trying to chew clock as well if we've got time. Barry slips, and he gets back to the line. And honestly, I am perfectly fine with that. Let us try to waste a little bit more time here as the power back goes with the toss. Ceiling block from Winters, and in a matter of seconds, we retake that lead. Now in a way, I am both very excited about that, but also took away our opportunity to try to drain some clock. 6.5 minutes left as it's Kitchens down the middle. Had more space to the outside. He still gains 4. So it's not like you could really complain about that on a first down. 2nd and 6. This time they do hand it off with space. There goes Justice. First down up to the 45. And again, while he has clear talent, you just don't feel that same fear, almost, as if it's Bijan Robinson with some space. Another gain of 8 goes Justice. And I think it also just goes down to the fact that the team itself just doesn't feel the same without Robinson out there. You just don't have that same, any play could happen anywhere, especially when they keep missing throws to the flat. But they have a big opportunity here. If they can capitalize down the middle, it was Stockton. Read it, he missed. Donovan Neighbors, though, shaken up for the Falcons, one of their offensive linemen, and he's leaving the game. That was at least one thing to this point, that it's been a pretty clean one. Not a whole lot of injuries. Obviously, Chuba got shaken up early on, but he bounced back. Hopefully, for the sake of competition again, their guys able to get back on the field as they do find London for that first down. And honestly, I don't really feel like the Falcons in much of a rush either. Here, both teams, they're just trying to play their simple game. As they drive it in across the middle, there goes Davis picking up that first down. And finding a lot of yards, they're just doing their thing in between, trying to find that good, the best play call for them. And so far it's worked out pretty good, but Stockton finally gets that tackle. He's been close on a couple runs. That time he comes through. 2nd and 10. They go with a shotgun look. Got 2 to the left-hand side, though. Down the middle, McCullough gets the stop. Gain of 1. I'll say they definitely caught me on that one. I expected the pass. 3rd and 9, definitely expect the pass. As they go 2 spread either side, and instead it is a run down the middle. Caught the defense as Justice does not catch the goal line, though he came up close. They're trying to find their leveler here as we approach the 2-minute warning. Goal line versus goal line. They stretch it and it goes nowhere. Loss of 4 as Baker checks in. But with the 2-minute warning, both sides could try to get their best players out there as they come out with a weak eye 2nd and goal. They run it, Stockton there to slow him down, but Justice shucks him off. And we've got a tied game here in the wild card. Less than 2 minutes left. It's essentially a repeat of halftime, needing to find a score as we start throwing the ball, or instead Jones, he will just take whatever yards he has down the middle. Why not? Pick up those 9, offense back to the ball. Sticking with that spread look, it's a 3-man front as we go with a draw. Ball, he's got space down the middle as he will get it up to around the 45. Of course, we know with our kicker in Cole Ford, he could hit from about 60, even a little bit past 60. Of course, with the rain, that could affect what he can do. Chuba Hubbard, he takes the screen and he will get us to the 43. I'd imagine that we're going to start to see the Falcons calling timeouts as we're just trying to set up that field goal attempt. Down the middle goes Barry. Right now, he's feeling comfortable from the 47. And the good news for us is we're already at the 42. We're just going to keep going down the middle here. Set it up as Barry, he's got a bunch of space. Make this a heck of a lot easier. Clock will run and we'll send out 4. They'll send us to the divisional round. The snap is back. Hold down, kick is up, and Ford has come through again. We keep the sweep on the Falcons, going 3-0, knocking them out of the division and keeping this series alive. It's a good battle though. 27-24, completely different than either of the games we played against them prior. And I think a pretty good reason for that is that was the least amount of points we've scored against the Falcons this year. Obviously, a little bit more for the Falcons considering the first game they just scored 10, but combined, I feel like this was the least amount of points scored in a game this season. And there just wasn't much of any big plays. It was those little ticky-tacky plays that inevitably scored the points. Michael Kitchens, he had 2 touchdowns for the Falcons, both going to Tutu Atwell. Justice ran one in. Meanwhile, for us, it was the running game still that carried us. Barry had 2 touchdowns. Daniel Jones had a rushing touchdown. In the receiving game, outside of Kyle Pitts, no one player in particular really shined. Obviously, Tutu with those 2 touchdowns, it highlights, but it was his only catches of the game. The real highlights just came from the overall play of the defenses. They just didn't allow that big play, which had been such a key part of the prior matchups. But as we look ahead and the Falcons, they head either to Cancun or their couch, whatever one they prefer, we have a rematch against the Seahawks. We played them regular season at a crucial part of our season. In week 10, it was the final showing for Bryce Young. And it was in a loss for us, 34-20. Bryce Young started this game and very quickly he got benched. After halftime, we went with Daniel Jones, who had not a fantastic showing. But following this game, we have not lost since. It was this point where we turned our season around. And a good bit of that came through the emergence of Chuba Hubbard, who had really just come back from injury, and he ran for 131 yards in this game, really showing that we needed to go back to a similar style of game that we started this series with. He even got things going through the air. Now, obviously, so did DK Metcalf. 4 catches, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns. But at that time, it was St. Just playing against him. He no longer will be. So once again, I expect a completely different game, and hopefully one that we don't give up 77% completion and 331 yards, leading to 4 touchdowns. So as we continue this postseason push, trying to go back-to-back Super Bowl champions, each and every single one of these episodes could be our last, so make sure you do not miss it. Hit that bell icon in the bottom right, or scroll down, hit the sub button, and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. As mentioned, once we finish off this season, we will go into probably 1 to 2 episodes of future play to really see how the players from this series round out. After that, we will be starting a new series, and probably a series of different series prior to the next Madden release. And of course, we have another football game coming, college football, which will be headed to this channel, and will probably be the first and foremost series until we get to Madden, then probably level things up. We'll talk about that as we get there. But next up, we got the divisional round at home as the Seahawks come to town.